Have we been lied to in Ghana? Is there going to be a haircut? Or is just going to be just inflation and devaluation of the cities? This is the question that most Ghanaians are asking yourself. And whether our politicians are lying to us, or the economists are lying to us, or we don't have a clue of what is going on, it doesn't really matter. What it matters is that you, watching me, young African hustler that wants to build generational wealth and financial freedom, take charge of your money and make the right decisions for yourself. Hi, welcome to Young African Hustlers channel, and on this channel I talk about how to build generational wealth and how to achieve also financial freedom, so that someday you can quit the job that you're doing that is stressing you so much that you have to wake up early in the morning, stay in traffic, and report to a boss that you hate, that you wish you never see. And for us to be able to do that, we need to start making the right decision now. We need to change our mindset. We need to learn and educate ourselves about money, because money got rules, baby. If you don't play by the rules, you're not gonna get it. And most of us are in the state that we are in because we don't know what the rules are. Nobody taught us. These are informations that are not taught in the school. And money in our culture is something that we really don't talk about. And if you have enough, you are mostly hated by most people, and therefore you can't talk about it. And if you have less, you stay with people who have less, and therefore you don't get the education that you need to be able to talk about it. And that is why I've created this channel called the Young African Hustlers, to be able to really share with you guys my knowledge, my experience, and what I've been through over time, from hawking on the street to building the wealth that I've created for myself, so that you can learn and start making the right decision and playing, most importantly, by the rules of money. Today, I want to talk to you about what is happening in Ghana and perhaps in a lot of the African countries surrounding us, not even in Africa, but developing countries. Most of us are in crisis. We are in crisis because inflation is on top of the roots. Prices of gas is increased. Our government, our politicians, our leaders cannot handle it because it's a global thing that is happening. Commodities are skyrocketing because most of these countries, we are fully imported countries, where we import everything from tissue to food to every commodity that you can think of. And therefore, our value, the value of our currency doesn't stand. We are chasing the dollar, we're chasing the pounds, we're chasing the foreign currencies. So I think the first point is acknowledging that we are in crisis. The second point is that most of us are also running to the IMF to save us. And what the IMF is going to do is pump some money in case we meet their terms and conditions into the economy to stabilize our currency. But the IMF always have policies and I guess goals that you have to meet, things you have to do. And therefore, it's a way of really pushing our governments and our leaders into doing certain things that they weren't doing. Cutting down on unnecessary expenses, right? Cutting down on unnecessary departments and sectors that they've set up. So over the months coming, you're going to see governments making changes in salary cuts, in collapsing department, in changing policies. The IMF, if they're going to support us, are going to really, at the back end, push them to do the right thing that they believe could save us before they release or give them that money. So that's happening. And Ghana is one of us, one of those countries. Ghana is now negotiating with the IMF. But the hot topic in the country has been, are we going to get a haircut? And what does a haircut means? Let me take you back into history. Do you remember when Kufuor, our former president, was changing the currency, not the currency, but the notes and the value of Ghana? They used to do an advert. The value is the same. We didn't understand. I was young by then, and we were all saying the value is the same. 5 Ghana cedis used to be 5 million or whatever. The value is the same. Little did we know, that there could be a time where the value is not going to be the same. Going even back into history, into Acheampong's time, we got a haircut. By then, knowledge and information wasn't as preview as it is today, where I think the haircut was somewhere around, 18, 20 something percent. I wasn't born by then. Maybe I was born, but maybe I did. I wasn't old. I wasn't at this point. I couldn't think or whatever. But if you're watching me and you're in your 40s, 50s, you know what I'm talking about. That there was a slash and that was a haircut. So whatever money that you have, that was in the value. Whatever money that you have in the bank, the value decreased. And that's why when Kufuor tried to change our notes and the value of our currency, the adverts will always play the value is the same. It was to remind Ghanaians that this is not what Acheampong did. This is different. This time, we are just canceling zeros, but your value, the value of your money, is going to be the same. If you have 10 cedis and it used to be 1,000, you can still buy something with the 10 cedis. So the value of that money is the same. Coming forth into present days, what haircut means is basically what happened in Acheampong. Let's take Malawi for example. Malawi just got a haircut of 35% after they went to the IMF. And what does this mean? This means that if you have $100 in Malawian currency or in Ghana currency and you have it at the bank, that $100 or 100 naira, 100 cedis, 100 shilling is no more worth 100. It's now worth what? 65, because we have devalued that currency. But the price of an oil continued to stay at $100. So that means your $100, you can pick it up and go and buy oil. And that's an issue, right? And that's what most people believe is going to happen in Ghana. And if that happens, as an entrepreneur, as a businessman, as a young person trying to build a career for yourself, you have savings in the bank, what are you going to do? And you guys know my perception about money sitting at the bank. And I continue always to say that money is trash until you put it to use. And that's why the banks even don't keep your money at their bank. They take it and they invest into something. And when you want your money, they give you another person's money. And that's why when we all decide to run to the bank now to collect our money, they will not be able to give it to us. So they use statistic and determine, okay, how many people probably come to withdraw here? Maybe on an average in a day is 1 million. Let's give you 1 million and serve your customers. And they serve you. And in your mind, you think that the bank is giving you back your money. No, your money was gone long time. So the money that you've been keeping at your bank is not only being used by the bank to make investment, now it is also going to be used. Not used, but right now it's actually going to be haircut into bald, right? Into bald, where you can't even use it to buy whatever you could have used to buy today, if that happens. So whether our politicians are lying to us, whether the economics are lying to us, if this comes, what can you do? First, you can change your money into a currency that is not devaluating. I know now it's hard to even get $1 than to get £1 in Ghana, and it's going to be even harder because there's going to be a lot of restrictions to preventing us from doing that and doing business in dollars. So that's going to be huge. So if you can do that, the next thing for you to do is to take that money and buy an asset. An asset are things that brings you back money and appreciates over time. So if you're going to buy a house and that house is not going to bring you money, or it's not in the location that you can sell someday, but you're just buying a house for yourself and your family because you have money sitting there, you're not buying an asset, you're buying a liability. If you're buying a fancy car that you're going to use because your money sitting at a bank is going to be devaluated or get a haircut, you're also not buying an asset, you're buying a liability. So if you're going to buy a car that you think that the prices is going to rise, and therefore you can sell at a certain point, then you're buying an asset, and it's better than keeping that money at the bank or in your wallet or at the back of your house, right? For example, I'm going to show you guys. You guys know I have these machines lying down here. So I have the tipper truck, I have the backhoe. I bought these machines at a price of about $70,000-$80,000, right? Those machines are sitting down now, but they are appreciating. Why? Because the machines that I bought a year, 2 years ago at $70,000 currently is sold at $80,000, $90,000, $85,000. In the next year or two, it's going to be sold almost $100,000, right? And then I can sell that machine and get my money back. If I had put that money, right, whether it was, 200,000, 300,000 Ghana cedis at the bank, when a haircut happens, that money is going to depreciate, whether by 35 if it's in Malawi, or 25 if that's what we're going to get in Ghana if we do get a haircut, right? But putting that money in this machine, I've saved myself from that haircut. Therefore, look around yourself. What are things that are going to go out that you can put your money in instead of holding physical cash? This is not a time to show off. This is not a time to prove to people the amount in your bank account, because if that haircut do come and the city continue to devaluate, then that money is going to be worth nothing. And soon enough, that same people that used to appreciate you will look at your money and say, my friend, this money cannot even buy pure water. So what are you talking about? And therefore, you need to start thinking smartly about your money. Take charge of your money because you work hard for it. And that's my advice to you. I'll see you guys next time with another video. Stay tuned.